We hit 10,000 subscribers. Let's give away some stuff.
Something big is spooking residents. Multiple people have claimed to see a large furry animal trudging through the woods.
I literally could see him from all the way over here. I started hearing it. It was very large, and it was running so fast.
Your source for cameras
Subscribers.
The sheriff's office is sharing
Let's give away some
safety tips
stuff.
on social media to protect yourself from
Bigfoot.
I saw something out of the corner of my eye off the side of the road in a culvert.
It's not like a bear, and it wasn't like a coyote. I've never seen anything like that.
No details, big, like 10-foot foam, big. It freaked out, hit it in the leg.
I don't think it registered what it was.
What's the likelihood that there are big animals that have gone undetected by scientists and by trained observers?
How y'all doing, everybody? Welcome on the Underground Live call-in show. I am here in the frigid tundra of northern Florida, wondering why I didn't set up a heater before the program. So how is everybody? Flat Rock in the house, Jax Jen, Audacious Amber, Bobby Snyder, Dean, Amy, how y'all doing tonight? Hopefully everybody stayed somewhat warm this weekend. We actually got snow yesterday at my house. So it was kind of weird. It's just like flurries, you know. But it was okay. It was fun. I was interviewing a guy, Freddie Charles, who has a whole lot of Bigfoot tracks that he's casted along a certain river not too far from where my dad got his footage and where a lot of our, research goes on. So he brought them in and we kind of, just went back and forth, and I told him what I thought on some of them. It was kind of interesting. I didn't think everything he had was a Bigfoot track, but there were some really cool ones in there that I was kind of perplexed by. So really excited for y'all to see that. Y'all didn't get no snow. Yeah, we got snow. It just like flurried. It sucked. It was so cold. It was like the temperature was 40, but it was saying it felt like 22. And I mean, we were dying. Like I had to go in and get old homeboy another jacket because it was just really cold, and then the wind was blowing super bad too. So, but everybody, we made it to 10,000. Right now, we are sitting at 10,218 subscribers. That to me is insane. When I started doing the Bigfoot Underground, I was at 4,790, like 4,790 subscribers. And then I launched my first episode, and that was November 14th. So since November 14th, we have got, I'm not good at math, so we're going to break out the old calculator. We got 5,428 subscribers since November 14th. Yeah, so just a little bit over 2 months, which is crazy. I never thought it would go this route, and I appreciate everybody that's, out spreading the word. You're hyping the videos, you're staying in the chats, you're liking them and all that. And what that does, I know you may not think that it does much, but if you ever see a channel that you really like, you should comment on their stuff. You should like their stuff. Hit that hype button. Because what that does, that tells YouTube to show it to other people, right? And because of the crew that's here, that keeps coming up, keeps coming in on these shows and just talking and hanging out. Y'all are actually building this. I'm doing the interviews and the editing, but y'all are actually helping push this more than you know, and it's so cool. So tonight, I wanted to have a giveaway. I got some things we're going to give away Journey to Belief DVD. It's got our 4-part series, my new DVD on it, and it's also got an extra interviews and extra little film I made on the Barden Booger in there. Rich, thank you, good sir. So tonight, I'll leave that up for a second. Also, going to give away this Dogman hat. I don't know how well you can see that. Pretty cool design on there. Original design. Nice hat. Going to give that away. And then going to give a Journey to Belief t-shirt away. On top of that, we're going to have a raffle. Okay. So what's in the raffle? It's like the grand prize, right? So in the raffle, let me pull up the grand prize here. It comes with a Bigfoot Journey to Belief hat. Instead of the Dogman hat, you get, where do you get it at? Where do you get it at? Show the damn shirt, Stacy. A Dogman shirt. You also get a Bigfoot track signed by me. Set that thing down. You get this backpack from Rebo Backpacks. You get a collapsible bucket for when you're in the field and you may be casting tracks. You will also be getting a whisk to whisk your mold. And then there's a DVD in there as well. And to get in on that, every $5 super chat, you can do PayPal, you can do Cash App, whatever you want to do. We'll get you 1 raffle ticket. So, Rich, you starting out with 4 raffle tickets, brother. And at the end of the show, we will draw to see who wins the grand prize. And hopefully that will help me cover the shipping on all this stuff I'm sending out. All right, let me go ahead and start with that. Also, in a few minutes, I got a really cool guy that tried to call in last week, okay? A 1-year supply of plaster. Yeah, I wish. Patrick Noble, how you doing, bud? Okay, so that was, let me make sure. Bobby Snyder, you're going to get 2 tickets for the raffle. Okay, so J Rich 850. J Rich 850. J Rich 850. But like I said, we got a guy I'm going to call. He called last week but didn't get through. He's got a lot of stuff going on his property in Michigan. And so that is, he's going to tell us about that stuff tonight. And then we're going to take other calls, see what we can get. Because these live call-in shows, we're getting some really, really good stories. Jay Rich, there's your 4 tickets, buddy, in there. And just bear with me for a second, people. Bobby Snyder getting 2. Bobby. Oh, Bobby. I like propane and propane accessories. I seen a meme one time said I like cocaine and cocaine accessories. Thought it was funny. I'm a delinquent. Bobby, there's your 2 in the hat. All right, let's get back down here. Okay, so with that said, everybody, the Alabama Bigfoot Project, if you haven't been to alabamabigfootproject.com, please do so. Check it out. There's going to be more stuff posted there, as we get it. And we're going to be updating a blog on there, a weekly blog, all that kind of stuff, to keep you informed on what's going on this study that we're having. So it's mainly for right now going to be audio at first. We're putting out long duration audio recorders in the area. And on that website, I'm pretty sure I got to figure out how to do it, but we're going to just be uploading hours and hours of audio. that everybody can go and listen to, and maybe you can help us along the way find, hey, there was something cool here, some knocks here, something like that. You know, because we'll be starting out with 4 mics 24/7 for probably a week at a time, right? So you're going to have to, there's going to be a lot of audio for us to go through, not to mention Flat Rock has, I think, 4 terabytes, he said, maybe 8 terabytes of audio. A terabyte of audio is an insane amount. And to have multiples of those, I don't know if I'll live long enough to see all that gone through. And then the other thing, North Florida Bigfoot Expedition, with myself hosting it. There are 3 spots available right now. The 8th spot may be spoken for. He said he'd let me know next Friday. But anyways, you come out with us, and sorry about that. Come out with us. I'm going to do my best to put you on a Bigfoot. I really mean that. I'm taking you to an area where I'm hoping we will have some type of Bigfoot activity. I'm also going to take everybody to the film site where my father and myself got the thermal footage, kind of walk everybody through that. All right, Patrick Noble with 4. But yeah, I'm really going to try to put people on that. It's going to be an expedition. It's not a sit around the campfire and talk, which we will do. That will happen. But, you know, after dinner rolls up, we're heading out to the woods. We're splitting up. We're heading out to the woods. We're trying to get in advantageous spots to have an encounter. You know, and then during the day, after breakfast, we're hitting the ground. We're going to look for tracks. We're going to look for hair. We're going to try to find some kind of trace evidence that maybe these creatures have left behind. JP58 with 2. Thank you much. 58. JP58. All right. In the hat getting thick. Hat getting thick. All right. So I guess outside of that, that was about all I needed to cover here at the beginning. And so I guess what we're going to do now, as I said, earlier, we are going to have call-ins and we're going to have giveaways. So the first giveaway will go to the 3rd or the 5th caller. Let's do that. Let's do the 5th caller right now on the number 850-695-0522. We'll win a Journey to Belief DVD. Right here, right now, me without my headphones. So go ahead, 5th caller. If you want it, it can be yours. Turn my headphones up. All right. Sorry, I got to write some of these things down. Where we go? JP was the last one there. And we had Rachel with 20. All right. Thank you much, Rachel. Birmingham, Alabama. Birmingham, Alabama.
Yeah, I'm calling about Alabama Bigfoot.
This is the Bigfoot Underground.
Yes. Trying to win a prize here.
You're the first caller, buddy. you're the first caller. It's for the 5th. Sorry, man. Call back. You're the first.
Okay.
All right, buddy. Okay, why is my shit not hooked to here? Come on, bro. What a time to do all this. What a time for stuff to start going wrong, right? Let's see. We got to hook to the task cam. Mixcaster connect, bro. Okay, so we're 1 caller down. Rachel, I got your 4 in there. Thank you so much. Grizzly Ghost with 2. Once I said, people, 5th caller's going to get that DVD. Y'all call in if you want it. It's free. My first dog that I can remember was named Grizzly. Sweet little boy. All right, 2 for Grizzly Ghost. Let's see here. Connecting. The Bigfoot Underground, you are caller number 2.
I was going to get that DVD. Cover now. Oh.
All right, you are are you there?
Yes.
You're caller number 3. Sorry.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Okay, 2 more. The next 2. You're getting it. Somebody's going to get it. Who's going to call in and get it? It's a free DVD, people. I'm mailing it to you. Oh, man. Congratulations. You are caller number 4. Sorry. All right, here we go. We finally got a winner. Who am I speaking with?
Audacious Amber.
Audacious Amber, you are the winner of the Journey to Belief DVD. So please, I'm turning the phone calls back on Do Not Disturb so I can focus here. You have won this, and if you will email me your address, if you will email me your address, I will ship this out to you this week. Okay. It's going to be super cold tomorrow, so I can't promise I'm leaving the house. So it may be Tuesday before I get this stuff shipped out. Okay. So Amber,
this is awesome. Thank you.
Hey, I really appreciate you calling. I thought it was going to be the same guy call over and over again until he won it. So it worked out.
All right.
Well,
I appreciate you.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll be in touch.
All right. Bye-bye.
All righty. Thanks.
All right, everybody. We got a winner. Sorry for everybody that didn't win, but you will, okay. Where are we at? There will be another giveaway. Okay. Chris Price with 1 ticket. Thank you so much. Where'd my pen go? All right. I'm just going to put Price, even though I will see him. Maybe I don't have to ship it if I see him. Chris, everybody, is putting on the Eastern Alabama Bigfoot Town Hall. Okay. And if y'all are in the area, if you have to drive a few hours, I really suggest going to something like this. Kumbo Baker's going to be there. I don't really know who that is. I've heard the name, but I know a lot of people do. MK Davis is going to be there. It's yet determined whether I'm going to debate him on the authenticity of the Patterson Gimlin film or not. I heard word and then I didn't. So I will be there. The Alabama Bigfoot Project will be there. We will be talking. All right, Kev 2917. Kev. But yeah, get up to Chris's event. They really put on a good event. It's not a lot of people, right? It's okay, there's your first 5, Kev. It's not a lot of people. It's more intimate kind of thing, you know. Just I think this year's going to be the biggest one they've had, like 200 something people. So you actually get to talk to the speakers. You actually get to talk to other Bigfoot eyewitnesses because some people will share their stories. Dale Boswell's going to be up there playing the guitar. I'm pretty sure he doesn't know it yet, but I'm going to take that guitar from him and play a few songs myself. So if you're in the area of where it's going to be, which I think is in Sale, Alabama, I don't know. I think it's something to do with civil rights or something. And also, I will be doing a ghost hunt at the old county courthouse there. You can buy tickets for that as well. Proceeds go to my pocket, right? To keep a roof over my head. Yeah, but we're got you taken care of, Kevin. But yeah, gonna do a ghost hunt. I know they're gonna have a Bigfoot hunt there Friday night. Jay Rich, I want that cast $50 from Jay Rich. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Jay Rich with some more. You get the backpack, you get all that stuff, people. Here in a second, I'm about to call a guy in Michigan who has ongoing Bigfoot activity. Okay. At his property, he's seen Flat Rock's story. Okay. And this is the important part about telling your story. For those of you who are sitting back and holding on to a story, this guy seen Flat Rock telling his story. And was like, man, I got stuff like that going on at my house too. This guy talked about it. I'm going to talk about it. You know what I mean? So you may be the catalyst that brings somebody forward. So it's really important, even if you're just sharing it with Bigfoot people, tell somebody, even if you want to stay anonymous, you know, especially if you need to talk about it, or, you know, you want to see Bigfoot proven so they can be protected. That's how you got to do it. You know, you got to share your information so that we can learn from that, because we're going to learn a different piece of the puzzle at every single stop. Right. Jay Rich, you're 10 tickets, buddy. Okay. See if we got through all that. All right. Okay, cool. So it is 8:22. Let's go ahead and call old dude. His name is Tim. Tim is in Michigan. Let's go ahead and get him on the phone and let him talk about, and hey, if y'all still want to join in on the raffle, as soon as we're done with Tim, I am going to give away that Dogman hat for anybody that may want it. So let's go ahead and get Tim on the phone.
Hello.
Tim.
Hey, Stacy. How you doing, buddy?
How you doing, buddy? You are live on the air, brother.
All right, man. It's great to talk to you, buddy. I've been a big fan of yours, and you know, been following you for a long time, man, and glad to talk to somebody, you know, like-minded people anyway.
Yeah, you know, if this was under any other circumstances, you would be like, oh, I'm talking to the crazy dude, but we're in the crazy pool tonight. So
I'm telling you, it's, I stopped even talking about it to people because everybody thinks the same thing. When there's 5, 6, 10 people there, it's not an imagination thing. It's not, too many things happen. You know what I mean? And it's just, I don't know where you want me to start with this stuff, but
first you can tell me how cold it is there, because it's freezing.
Oh, it's cold. It's about 10 degrees here right now.
Brother.
They said tomorrow it's going to be the high of 10 with like -10 wind chill. I'm sorry.
I pray for you, brother, because it is, it's a little bit warmer tonight. Not much, but last I was out, it didn't feel as cold as it was yesterday. So right now it's 32 here. It said it feels like 27.
Yeah, that's freezing to you guys, isn't it? That's
Yeah,
like
brother.
summer to me.
They're talking about it was going to get down to like 19. We had snow yesterday.
Yep, that's what I heard. I follow I spend a lot of time in Tennessee and that, so I follow the weather all over the place. And yeah, I spent a lot of time in Savannah, Georgia, and working in summertime in the heat and all that. And it was like working in hell. But I like Michigan, man. We get the best of everything. It gets cold, but the 4 seasons, we get the best of all of them. So
you do get that. It does look very pretty there in the fall. But I got a funny story about Michigan. I went there for the finale of Bigfoot Bounty. Okay.
Yep.
They gave us like 36 hours in Porcupine Mountain State Forest, if that makes sense.
Yep. Yes, it does.
Yeah. And then, so it was August, right? August is our hottest month.
Right.
We went up there thinking it was, summertime. Bro, it dropped down to like 40 that night. And we didn't have no tent. We're like, we're not even going to sleep. We're just going to lay by the fire for a little bit. We slept 2 hours, man.
Yep. It's so weird because for the longest time, we didn't have a summer, winter, fall. None of that. It would either get freezing cold and then get really hot.
Yeah.
But now it's starting to come back around where we're getting the best of, of everything. Because I like being out in the woods. I'd rather I call it my church. When I need to get my peace of mind, I go to the woods. And, I was sitting out there bow hunting, sweating my ass off. Oh, excuse my language, sweating my butt off in October. It's like, it's crazy, but it's starting to get back to normal now. So.
Hell yeah.
So, and that's what's good about where I'm at. I can drive 40 minutes or an hour each way, and I can be in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
I'm 10 minutes from downtown Detroit, but Jackson, Michigan is 45 minutes from here, and it's like you're in another world.
Right.
That's why I love being where I'm at.
Well, let's go ahead and get into your story, bud. Tell us about, what you got going on, what all's happened.
Okay. Well, this started about, I have a good friend. I don't even want to say his name because he's not one. He never was a believer. That's changed now, but he's pretty successful guy. And he just does things off the spur of the moment, and always talked about wanting to get a place up north. And, and he's one of them like a brother to me. And I get a phone call one day and he goes, "Hey, I just bought this piece of property." He goes, "I was driving through on the way home from a job and I happened to see a for sale sign. So I bought this piece of property." I said, "You're kidding me." And he goes, "No." So he comes home and we're talking and he says, "Let's go up there." Well, we packed up to leave. We're driving down the street and there's this old red Chevy pickup truck and it's got a camper back and sleeper in the back of the truck. And it has a for sale sign on it. Just so happened we drive by it. He goes, "Well, let's see what they want." Well, we ended up buying the truck and the camper and driving it up to that property that day. Okay, just spur of the moment thing. Well, we get up there and a beautiful turn off the main road. It's a little sandy 2-track, goes back about a half mile into the woods. And there's this opening opens up and it's along a power line, which is another thing. And there's this clearing and this is the piece of property he bought. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And it's in the middle of, it's a snowmobile mecca is where he's at. But, so we put the camper and it's backed up by this huge 200-foot hill behind us. And, so we parked this truck and this camper underneath, we got the trees overhanging us. We put the trailer, in the shade and I didn't even think about it then, what was going on then, but it happened right off the bat. We're laying in that camper, we got our guns with us. We're in hog heaven, so we can finally shoot in freedom. And, and we start to hear something hitting the roof of the camper. Okay. And then rolling down because we're on an angle, like rocks hitting it. Well, we thought at the time, it's stuff falling off the tree and rolling down, and that happened for a few months. Okay. And never thought of anything being out there. I've always been a Bigfoot guy. I just have since the $6 million man years ago. But this guy I'm with now I want to mention his name. He's just, you can't mention anything about that Bigfoot to him or anything like that. He's always makes fun of me. He did anyway. Well, I never thought about that until later on about those things hitting our roof and rolling off,
Right.
I just thought it's the trees, we're underneath this canopy and And then just things just started happening. And things would end up being moved. And I blame it on him. He blamed it on me. And like, perfect example is the main reason we wanted this property is because we're gun guys and we wanted to go up. We don't like going to gun ranges, people looking over your shoulders and all that. We wanted to be able to shoot, muscle memory. And, so we built this halfway up this hill. I built these steps. I'm carpenter by trade. And I mean, I can pretty much do anything. And built this gun range up there for us, metal targets and all this. And we go up there and shoot. And then we come back the next time and everything we built would be destroyed.
Right.
And it just I built this big, beautiful bench where we could put our guns and reload, and everything. And it would by 2x4s. And I know how to build, and it would be torn apart. We're thinking, okay, the neighbors maybe, but we talked to all the neighbors. Why is this stuff torn apart like this?
Right.
So we put trail cams up. Well, the trail cams are getting destroyed. We're going, this is okay. What?
They're getting torn off the trees, or
like somebody took a hammer and smashed them on the tree.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, just smashed, destroyed. And so we're just saying, well, who is in their right mind to come on this property knowing that what we're doing here? Anyway. So, and like I said, this stuff never crossed my mind. But then so we brought somebody up there, and this idiot takes off on one of our four-wheelers and comes back with a deer. This idiot poached a deer.
Oh, no.
He come up to her. I said, I said, listen, take that deer, go bury it on the hill, get that. Yeah, I was so mad because, I'm a hunter. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe this.
Well, they have it. They put them in season for a reason.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
So, Stacy, this is where it all started, okay? He took that, I made sure he took that thing up this hill and he buried it with shovels. And I stood there and watched him.
Right.
Well, believe it or not, the next morning we got up and that deer was on our porch.
Oh, wow.
Something dug that deer. It's like, I sound crazy, I know, but something dug that deer up and drug it and put it on our porch.
Well, hey, I'm going to tell you something real quick. So you talked about earlier with the stuff hitting the roof and rolling down.
Yeah.
Right. This one property that I researched for a very long time. It's like 7-8 years. That was happening to me there. And I talked about it on the episode of Monster Quest that I was just on. I mentioned that. And then something started banging on see, I woke up thinking it was like rain. Right.
Yeah. Us too, like wind from things falling off the trees,
Yeah, I had no idea. And then, something started beating on the door. But then, and you also said this thing got dug up. So the landowner there at the property, we're in Florida. We have a bunch of snakes. A lot of them are poisonous. Okay.
Of course. Yes.
So
we have water moccasins up here. That's the worst we could get. We do have rattlesnakes, but anyway, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Right. Well, the landowners were out doing some yard work, and there was a copperhead there, and he just hit it with a weed eater, killed it. Yep. Then went and buried it. The next morning, it was outside of the front door, put back together, like laid as if it had never happened, but it was just the pieces put back together. Right.
Stacy, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Oh, go ahead, brother.
The same thing happened to us.
Right.
With a snake. I swear to you.
Oh, also with a snake.
I got goosebumps right now. I cannot believe you just told me that story. It was one of the things go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're good, brother. That was my story. It was just when you mentioned the deer getting dug up and brought back, the same thing happened down here with the snake. And they stopped killing animals on the property because of that shit.
See, I'm telling you, these things don't, I say things, but they don't they know what guns are. Yeah. I mean, it's this stuff. I'm going to tell you a quick story. There was 5 of us standing outside. We built a pole barn, nice pole barn in the property with the 5th wheel trailer there and all that. And it was pouring rain, and we're all standing underneath this little canopy thing we had up, and we're cooking. And and you could hear something in the, you know, we got the lights on us, so we can't see far up into the woods at all. And my buddy says, "What is that?" And I pulled my light up and looked. And Stacy, the color of these eyes, I'll never, ever, ever forget this color. They were so orange. It looked like I can't even describe it, like fire. Mm-hmm. And they were so far apart. And they were only like maybe 30 yards up on this hill from us. But you could see them without the light, just the light from residual light from the camper and all that. We'd bring the light up and the thing would duck back behind the tree. And I'm saying, and this is, and we're all standing there, and I'm saying, you guys are seeing this, right? And then I look up, bring the light up again, and these eyes are about 2 foot off the ground, and all of a sudden they lifted up. And we went and measured where the tree was. Those eyes were 7.5 feet up off the ground when it stopped. Mm. And my buddy says, he's standing there, and you could hear just these things. There had to be maybe 3 or 4 of them. And the buddy I was with another kid, he was a young guy, he got, you know, we all had our pistols on us and that, but he got scared. He ran into this building off the side. He came out with an AR. And he goes, I can't deal with. And as soon as he came out with that gun, these things, it sounded like a freight train running up these hills. Yeah. These things, they know what guns are.
Oh, 100%.
100%. I said, I mean, and there's just so much that happens on this. It's like with these orbs, you know, I was never a big orb believer guy, but all of us, we had that one piece of property and we'd go down this 2-track, and a friend of ours had another piece of property we ended up buying, and with a little camper on it, or little, there's like a shed, but we turned it into a sleeping quarters. But these orbs would come, and like when we start seeing these orbs, things would start happening. And I never put 2 and 2 together, but we could lay there on the ground, and it was like these orbs, you could reach out and grab them, but you couldn't. Yeah, you couldn't film them, you know. And I don't know if that's a coincidence, but the more people I hear talk about these orbs, and like I grab, if we wanted to get their attention, I would grab these 2 pieces of wood and go crack, and you get a knockback or whatever. You did 3, you get 3 back, and then here they come. It was like we'd call them in. They're not shy. They never hurt anybody there. They've never, like, a baby crying is another thing. Mm-hmm. The girl that my buddy's fiance, they just had a newborn baby that was teething, and that thing was crying so bad. And when that baby would start crying, the woods would just come alive. Oh yeah, I'm telling you, and it's not a coincidence, Stacy. That baby crying, and just to do it, I found recordings of babies crying, and I did it myself without the baby. And something about a baby crying brings them in. Yeah. I don't know if they're worried. It's like I said, they've never, of course, we're all a bit scared before, but I mean, the one that spit on my buddy, that's a whole nother story. But
well, hold on, before we get too far into the weeds here. Yep. You said they took off up the hill, and they went away from you. So all y'all seen was the eyes that night, correct?
Yes.
And how would you describe them? Would you describe them like a cigarette, like cherry?
Yeah. It's, you know, like you get that weird color in the moon sometimes, like it's like sunset. It's not like a full second thing. It's like the embers of a hot fire, you know? Yeah. It's a color that it's burned into my mind. I close my eyes. It's even
you can still see ago, it.
Oh my gosh! Because you can't describe it to somebody until you see that. And they were so far apart and so big around, and you could see the silhouette of these things. You could. They would never come completely into focus, you know, where you could. But you could. They were standing there, and they would never come alone, Stacy. Never. Right. You would think there was one, and it was like, this one's trying to get your attention while this one's over here taking our stuff.
So that's the thing, you know, well, they say when you see a snake in the woods, you usually miss 2 or 3 other ones, right?
Yep.
It's the same thing with these guys. Your attention gets put on to one. There's shit going on all around you.
Yep. And so I started learning these patterns. And if there's something going on over here, start looking around everywhere, because this one's getting our attention. to grab our hot water from over here because it would just happen over and over and over again.
Right.
It got to the point where no one would go up there anymore. Oh yeah, you're full of, blah, blah, blah. Until you get up there and there's nobody hoaxing us. There's nobody playing games. Nobody in the right mind would do it.
Right.
There's no reason to do it. Who's out there in the pitch black, Stacy? You're woods. You've been out in the woods. You cannot traverse through these woods without some kind of light or something.
No, you'd have to know the woods, and it'd have to be a full moon, and then good luck even at that. You know what I mean?
And not to even mention, we're all armed.
Right, and that's another thing.
Everybody up there.
You don't mess around on people's property. It's just it's an American thing. People know better, but sometimes they don't. But that's very rare. Okay, let me ask you: has anyone touched the orbs?
No, you can't. You can't. They would be, Stacey, I swear to you, they would be a foot from your face, and you could go to grab them, and they're just not there.
Right.
But
well, they're going to
there.
get to the point. Okay, so this is how they started out. If it's anything like my experience, they started out with us to where they would be in like our peripheral vision.
Yep.
Like you can see them in your peripheral, but when you turn to look at it, it wasn't there.
It was almost like a floaty in your eye or something.
Right. But then you turn back forward and it would be there again.
Yep.
And then it eventually got to the point to where they would come up to you and you could touch them. I never touched them.
Really?
I seen 2 guys touch them. Okay. And they are no longer with us.
See, I got goosebumps right now.
Do not, brother. If you have not done it so far, do not do it again. Do not ever touch them things.
Oh, well, thank you for that because,
it may just be a coincidence that they died of cancers rapidly.
Why push your luck?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm just putting the information out there. Right.
No, listen, I appreciate it. And I'll take any advice I can get because there's no book on this stuff. There's no right or wrong. There's so many questions, but there's no answers. I know what's going on there. I do because, like I said, I've been a believer ever since $6 Million Man. And it's everybody's. And I can't tell you for sure if this is. I know that there's Bigfoot on the property. I know there's a family there.
Well, so how big? Somebody's asking. JP58 is asking how big are they? I think she's referring to the orbs. How big are they?
The orbs? Well, it depends on where. Like the size of like a hard ball. Like a hard ball, the regular baseball size hard ball.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And that's the way I can describe them. And you can see. The best thing I can describe is, like a bowling ball that has those swirls in it,
Yep.
It's like a marble, like that, but it's moving inside. It's not a solid. It's so weird, Stacy.
Yeah.
And they're so close to you, and you can reach out and like grab them, but you can't. Oh, I don't know. I've never tried it because, it's the craziest thing. And like I said, there's so much that goes on. And we've put this pattern together. Once you start seeing these orbs, things start happening around you. There's no two ways about it.
Well, let me ask you, have you, because I want to get into a couple more of your stories, right? But first I got a question just while it's on my mind.
Yep.
Have you sat down and asked for them to come up? Like, how are you just there and these things are showing up? Or are you to the point where you'll sit down and ask them to show themselves?
Myself, that's what I do. I'll say, listen, if you guys want to talk to me, I'm here. And 9 times out of 10, it'll start happening.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
It'll
So
it's not forceful. They don't like come scary. It's just strange because it's like they want me to see them. And it's not threatening or anything. I've been scared to death when I've gotten threatened a few times, but that was because I crossed the line, I believe.
Right.
And that I shouldn't have crossed out of stupidity, but I didn't know any better then.
Right.
So, like I said, they've never physically hurt anybody there. They've scared a lot of people.
Have you asked them for anything?
No. Nope.
Now,
Nope. I've asked them what I do for them. I've never asked them for anything in return.
Right.
I've said, if there's something I can do, what can I do for you? Is there something you want? Is there something I can help you with?
Right.
That kind of thing. Yes.
Well, so we would ask them. So like when I'm doing it, I tell them, how far we've traveled, how much it means to us. We've came to talk just to them. And then I ask things. So can you make a knock? Then we'll wait for a knock. And then most times you'll hear a knock. Can you make the Bigfoots come? And then there'll be a growl, or then something to get thrown. And you'll never see a Bigfoot, but you'll start having Bigfoot activity where there'll be a knock, or you hear something tearing through the woods or something like that. But I don't know what it is about these things. There's an intelligence there, and I ask for stuff. I don't know if I'm bartering. I don't know if I'm offering something that I'm unaware of. You know what I'm saying? But
it makes sense. I mean,
I would ask them for some stuff. Just be like, hey, if you're really here, can you make a knock? Like, I had a guy named Ed Brown, and he's in the Bigfoot world. You could look him up. But he came down, and I sat him on this trail, and we asked for the lights. And I can't remember if the lights showed up. I think they did. Like, I have so many experiences. It's a fucking fog at some points, but I believe they did. But then we asked him. He asked, "Can you make a Bigfoot show up?" And then we hear a whoop, right? And so we walk down there to where the whoop was. We look around. We don't see shit. We go back and sit down. Ed goes, "Thank you for that. If you're really here, can you make a tree knock?" And then there was a tree knock. And then he's like, "Well, thank you. Show me you're really here. Make something else happen." And the second he said that, a fucking large branch, like size of my thigh, fell out this tree and landed on the steps of the house. Like immediately after he said it. And I told him, I said, what are the questions you want to ask to make you believe? I said, that's three. That's three in a row, brother. Plus, we called.
It's not a coincidence. That's not a coincidence, Stacy. It's just not.
No, it's not. And he was left with a weird ass experience and no way to explain it. So, well,
there is a way to explain it. You know what happened. I know what happened.
Right.
I mean, to us, we know what happened.
Yeah.
But I mean, and how much? Everybody says there's no proof. There's no nothing. How much? How much more do you have to see to believe? Like, a buddy of the owner of the property shot one, Stacy.
Okay, hold on.
Okay, there's another story in itself. Yes.
Let me get me a damn sip of water. We about to get into it, brother.
Yeah, because this is another whole other level here now, Stacy.
Okay.
Okay.
Clear my throat. Here we go, people.
Okay.
All right. So we got Tim on the phone. Everybody that may not have been here from the beginning. Tim lives in Michigan, and his friend bought a piece of property. They were going to kind of just camp and shoot on the property. There wasn't going to be no home built there, right?
No.
Yeah. Okay. And then they started experiencing Bigfoot activity. It started off with stuff being thrown at the place they were staying. Then they seen red eyes and kind of silhouetted beings up on a hill that ran off when one of his friends came out with an AR-15. And there was a deer that was shot that was buried, and then something dug it up and brought it back. They're seeing orbs, and now he's telling us that his buddy shot one. So this is to catch everybody up who may not have been here. Also, everybody that may not have been here, we're doing a raffle for a backpack, a track, DVD, and all that other stuff. To get a ticket, $5 super chat. Just go ahead and do it. I'll write your ticket down, stick it in the hat. We draw at the end of the show. Now back to it. Tim, you just told me that the property owner shot a Bigfoot.
Yes.
Walk us through that.
Okay. This guy travels the country all over, working, and he was him and and his wife were coming through that area on their way home from like a 7-day trip or whatever from work. And he says, well, let's just run in. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning. Run and check on the property real quick, make sure everything's locked up, and blah, 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 all the 4-wheelers and everything. So they pull into this property and they get out and they open up this pole barn type of thing. And he goes and he sits back in his truck, and you don't have any cell service there, but he was going to charge his phone, and he opened his door and he sat down of his truck and looked up, and he said about 20 yards away, there was this massive creature just standing there. And he brought his light up. He always says, we always have flashlights on us. No, I do right now when I walk my dog. But he brought his light up and he said, now this guy, a little background, you can't scare this guy. He is one of the baddest men to walk the planet. I'm not teasing you. This guy is no joke. And he, non-believer, and until this happened. He brought his light up. He would kill me if he found out I was telling this story. But he brought his light up, and this thing was about, he said it was maybe 20 yards from him or something. And he pulled his pistol out and he emptied his clip on it. And he said, Tim, this thing, I don't know how it did it, but where it was standing, it jumped from where it was standing up onto this hill, that hill behind the property, which is about maybe 100 feet. He said, like it floated over there. He said, and it was gone. And I said, did you go over where you shot it? He says, yeah, I looked on the ground and all this. And he said there was this white light fluid, weird stuff, but it's kind of rain or whatever. But then when I started questioning him more about it, he redacted this story like it never happened. No, I was just messing with you, because he doesn't, it's like you said, he's the biggest non-believer. He was anyway. He still won't admit to this day. He wouldn't make up a story like that, okay? He called me at 4:30 in the morning to tell me. He said, I got a text on my phone, Stacy. It said, Tim, Bigfoot is alive and well in Mansalona, Michigan. And I said, so I got up and I called him. They were in town at the time, and he told me the story one time, and then ever since then I've questioned. No, that didn't happen. I'm just, well, how could you make something like that up? So what happened was the next weekend we go up there, and where he said he parked his truck and where it happened, I looked down and there was 14 empty shell casings laying there. So he didn't make it up. That was the proof I had that, because once he realized, he told me that I guess oh my God, now I'm in it now. Now they tell him that I made this up. Well, that was my proof right there. He said he emptied his mag, and there was 14 empty shell casings laying there. So he wasn't just shooting at a tree.
So, okay, the only problem I have with that whole story you told me, and it's not a problem, it's the only thing that gave me chills. As soon as you said it, it gave me chills. You said it was like he floated up that hill. Was that the exact words he used with you?
He said, first he said it like jumped up onto this hill. Then he said it like floated, like it floated up into the air onto this hill.
All right.
He says, and that's impossible. You can't. I said, then what? And he goes, it took off up the hill.
Well, that's what people say when they see it running all the time. They say it's like it was gliding. The one I watched when it ran, I didn't take that it was gliding from it. I was just kind of awestruck. I was able to see it in the daytime. The only thing I took from it weird is that it was moving its hands like it was almost swimming.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it wasn't doing the up and down. It was just straight. No. And I wonder what that is. And
it's like they're on roller skates or something, Stacey.
Brother, there's something to it.
Because we're all seeing the same thing.
Everybody's seeing it. Everybody's talking about the gliding. How long?
These details are too vivid. You can't make this kind of. You'd have to have one heck of imagination. Like I said, and I've physically seen them. But I haven't seen that type of thing. I've seen them from around trees. You know what I mean? I've seen them. The woman with the baby that was crying. She says, I got to get out of here for a minute. And this is broad daylight. She walked over towards the end of the property, and I heard her scream bloody murder. She come running back to the baby in her hands. one of these things, and a little one was pacing her the whole way, and she thought it was one of us walking up to the gun range. Then she said she got around a tree and looked, and there the two of them were standing there. But they were just watching her, walking with her. She thought it was us going to the gun range.
Wow.
But we were all standing by the truck.
Yeah.
And like I said, I've seen the movement, but not, you know what I mean? I've seen them gliding like that, but not for big amounts of time or anything. It's such a strange thing. It's a life-changing thing when you can believe all you want. You can tell your stories in it, but until you see one, like I thought years ago, I canoed up and down the Osable River in Michigan, and I seen this thing rubbing its back on this tree. My buddy goes, "Look at that bear over there." And we looked, and that wasn't no bear. We all stopped, and there was 8 of us. That was not a bear. But it was like, okay, what did we just see? That was not. That was a Bigfoot. And everybody's convincing yourself, no, that was a bear. I said, that bear just walked away through the woods.
Right.
Bears don't do that. But everybody takes it. Oh, it's a bear. It was a bear. No, it was not a bear. What, you guys just want your minds to believe it was a bear because you don't understand what you just seen.
I wonder if it's that or they just don't really care. They're like, it's bear, and they don't look again. You know what I mean? Like it blows my fucking mind when these people are, the most outlandish shit, something to get done, and they're like, "Oh yeah, it was a bear." It's like, bro, do you know anything about bears?
It's like me. I'm standing next to a red car, and the guy's telling me it's blue. It's not. It's red. We know what you just seen, but maybe just closed-minded people, Stacey, drive me crazy.
Oh yeah, dude.
Because I mean, I think there's something about, I don't know if it's just me or what, but I've listened to my father's whole family's from Kentucky. And all my life, I've listened to their stories. My papa died on his 100th birthday, fought World War I and II, and listened to their stories about the things they've seen up in the mountains in Kentucky. And so I've always had it in my mind that there's people like my papa don't make up stories. There's something out there. There just is. And people see it. And people say, why can't anybody videotape it? Well, people are videotaping it now. Yeah, you wouldn't believe it anyways.
You know what I mean? They wouldn't believe the shit anyways. Like, as soon as you bring them a videotape, they move the goalposts. Well, why don't we have a body?
And now with this AI stuff, it's driving me crazy because every time you see something, is that AI or isn't it? You know what? But not everybody's faking this stuff.
No, not everybody is. And it's simple to test AI. Just put that video into an AI system, generator, whatever, and ask it, is this AI? And it will review it and it'll tell you yes or no. You throw it right in chat GPT and it'll do it.
Basically, you can show them that and you'll still say it's not real.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. They don't care to believe, brother.
No, they're too afraid to believe. They're too close-minded to believe.
They've already got their mind made up.
Maybe that keeps happening, man. It keeps happening because I believe in a lot of things, man, that people think I'm nuts, but I'm not. I'm just open-minded.
Right.
You're going to walk through life being so close-minded. You're going to miss out on a lot of things, a lot of cool things.
Is there anything else going on at the property still? Like, how long ago was this? That's one thing I don't think we did establish.
It started about 15 years ago.
Okay. And where are we at with it now?
Okay, here's what happened. After my buddy unloaded on the thing, we lost contact for about a month. Okay, he was on the road and all this, and then he got back in town and said, "Let's go up north." He goes, "I sold the property." I said, "What?" He said, "Tim, no one would go up there. Everybody's afraid to go up there." Well, I got in touch with people that bought the property. They're selling it. No one can stay on that property. They're all scared to death. So I'm trying to buy that property right now.
How much they want for it?
This is something that's brand new, Stacy. I'm just finding out. My buddy let it go for nothing. Because he got more money than God. He don't care anyway.
Yeah.
He's just out and tired, whatever. And I mean, there's only one neighbor that's close. And I walked down to talk to him, and he told me about some stuff that happened to him, getting knocked over by a garbage can. And anybody that goes on that property they don't last. They can't last because it's because of what's going on, and it's not going to go away. There's something about, like, I'm not like the orbs in all that. I don't know if there's something on that property, I don't know, but it's never going to end. And what was really weird, real quick, I forgot to mention this, Stacy. One weekend, we go up there and we drive through this little town, and everything's normal. Then within 2 weeks, we go up there, and every building in that town had "Welcome to Bigfoot Country." Bigfoot signs. That was never like that. And then all of a sudden, all these Bigfoot signs are cutouts of Bigfoot on the Dairy Queen and all over. Well, it turned out 2 weeks or whatever before that, the county sheriff took a shot at one, and the story got around. So they started marketing it as the Bigfoot town in Michigan. So people started coming up there and all this, and it's just Stacy. I'm just telling you, this property. I'm going to get this property because it cannot go to somebody else. I don't know if there's a porthole or if that's real or not on this property, or
there's some reason they're there, brother. And you got the lights going on. I hope you do purchase it, man, because this sounds like a really neat spot, especially if he sold it. And I mean, you're thinking he sold it because of the Bigfoot, right?
Yeah, that's 100%. Oh, 100%. He Stacy, we would go up there and we go up there he's got 3 sons, and they're all, really cool kids, and not kids, they're men now, but as soon as the sun would start going down, he'd get in the truck with his wife and they'd go stay in town.
Yeah.
He would not go there at dark. We were cutting the grass one time, and I'm cutting the grass and I'm looking over at him, and he's on his riding lawnmower, and he couldn't take his mind off his eyes off of that hill. And I'm saying, man, and then all of a sudden I turn around with the lawnmower. He's sitting in his truck with it running. He goes, "Put that stuff away, lock up, we're getting out of here." I said, "We just got here." And he goes, "I can't be here. I just can't do it." And he goes, "I just don't feel good." And that's how bad it is.
Right.
And this, like I said, Steve, you can't scare this guy. You just can't.
Something did.
It wasn't a dream he had. I promise you that much.
Right.
For him to sell a piece of property that he's wanted he came from nothing. You know what I mean? And he worked his ass off and got this really successful business and finally got this piece of property he's always wanted and was so happy, and then left that place like it was nothing. Won't even talk about it anymore.
That is so wild. Well, brother, I hope you get it. All right, I'm just going to throw that out there.
There's no hope, man. I'm on disability. I've had a lot of problems I've died 4 times in my lifetime, which is a whole other story, but I'm going to get that property. There's no 2 ways about it. I've already got 2 people working on it for me, and I don't care what it takes. It's actually 2 pieces of property, one in the main off the 2-track, and then another little piece that he owned. They both sell together. Where there's like a little a shed built, but it's a shed turned into like a little place, a bunkhouse,
Right.
And it happens in both places. It's this little along this. Oh my gosh, the 2-track runs along the power lines.
Okay.
That's where all this stuff is. Like, Stacy, I seen her. Remember you said to ask for something?
Mm-hmm.
Remember you said that? One night I was sitting by the fire, and I'm thinking to myself, man, there is something crazy with this property, and I know what it is, blah, blah, blah. And I kept telling myself, but I want proof. I want to know. I jumped in. I would never drive one 4-wheeler to one place to another there by myself, because I was always so scared. My buddy's wife got knocked off a 4-wheeler by one of them one night. But Stacy, I've come up down this 2-track and come over this hill, and there's a white wolf sitting on the top of this hill staring at me.
Is that normal?
No.
Do y'all have white wolves?
No. And this was not a coyote. It was not a dog. I took pictures of the tracks of this thing. They were like 8 inches around.
Oh, wow.
And this thing was massive, and it was a white wolf, and it was sitting at the moon behind it was like a postcard or something. And this white wolf I got goosebumps, and I'm tearing up. This just sitting there staring at me, not intimidated. And I just turned my 4-wheeler around, went back to camp, and I got my phone, and I said, I'm going. Of course it's gone. And I try to tell the people that are there, yeah, Tim, you're seeing things. No, I was not seeing. It was like,
boy, they must think you on drugs or something like that, because you're seeing all kinds of shit.
I don't drink. I haven't drank in 30 years. I just, this wolf was sitting there, and that was the sign. I swear to you, Stacy, that was like reassuring me that I'm, like you said, ask for something. You know what I mean? I was wanting something to happen so bad where these guys can see it, and it just, that white wolf sitting there. That's another thing that's burnt in my mind. That was crazy. And it just sat there, my lights illuminating it, and it's just looking at me. The thing was huge. And the next thing I went back, and there's big, huge tracks. I said, see? I said, this is not no dog. This isn't a freaking, these things were huge. And it was there. Ghosts don't leave footprints.
Right.
And that it's like that. I mean, explain that to me. So I talked to DNR agents and all that, and they said, we had a white wolf spotted here in 1952 or something like that. And I showed everybody the tracks to make sure I was looking at, yeah, that's a wolf track. That's a wolf. That's a wolf. And, it's just too many things like that, Stacey, like the one that spit on my,
hold on. You got to tell me that story too. The Bigfoot spit on your buddy. I want to hear that one before I let you go.
Okay. This is another night. We're all standing around outside, and it's kind of raining a little bit. We're under this canopy, and this pole barn like we built, the door on it was 7 foot high, and it was on this wing that they opened two ways, and it's right butted up to the hill, the ridge where we call them ridge walkers, and we're all standing there, and we had food going. We were cooking pork chops. I remember like it was last night, and we're just standing there. There's 4 or 5 of us standing there, and we heard a bunch of commotion, and it was coming from behind where the door was open. And I looked at my buddy, and I said, here they come, man. He said, that sounds like it. And when I said that, you heard something, Stacy, clear its throat, like, and I looked at my buddy, and Stacy, this wad of spit came over this door and hit my buddy on his pant leg and fell off into the ground. It's like sandy ground. And it was, and we were in shock. We're going, what the hell? Well, I didn't think to run over and see what spit. We're just like trying to process what just happened. And that spit, Stacy, was about 4 or 5 inches around in like a gooey substance, and it had hay in it, or like whatever it was eating was still in its mouth when it spit.
Oh wow!
It was Stacy. It was a weird. You heard this thing do it, and we looked up, and because of the lights, you could see this ball coming at him. And this is the same guy that pulled out our AR-15. Mm-hmm. So it was like he was spitting on this guy and we just looking, and I don't know why I didn't collect it, but it was raining, it was muddy and sandy, and that was another what has the lung capacity to do something like that?
Right.
And it's like, I know it sounds crazy, it's so hard to believe, but it happened. We were all there. It's not, and to this day, I talked to my buddy about that, and that's another thing. It's like, what? And it just so happened he's the one that went and got the AR-15 and scared them all off. And it just, like you said, you could see it coming over this door, and it hit the ground. It hit his pant leg and bounced off and went on the ground. And it was
sure it was spit? Somebody wants to know in the chat if you're sure it was spit.
That's the only thing I could think of what it could be.
Right.
Because the way it cleared its throat, and like I just had deviated septum surgery. And I'm getting all this nasty stuff draining and all that. And when I clear it, it sounded like that, but it was amplified so much, so strong. And you could hear, like, I swear to you. And you could see it coming over this door that's 7 foot high. And it was like, and then when we got our minds together, they started going, what the hell? You could hear the thing take off up the hill.
Right.
It was, I explained that. So, I mean, it happened. Just, we were all standing there.
It all sounds crazy, dude, but the whole subject, you know what I mean?
Crazy.
So when you're like, oh, they think I'm crazy, they're going to think you're crazy no matter what. That doesn't mean you don't experience it, and don't let that stuff. It doesn't sound like you do, but don't ever let that stuff get you down. You know what you've experienced.
Yep.
And whether you ever have concrete proof to prove it to every single person on this planet, it doesn't matter. Because
that's where I'm at. I don't care about proving it to anybody.
Right.
I don't care, because you cannot tell somebody. I don't care about. I'm not in this. I mean, I'm not a Bigfoot researcher or anything like that. I would love to be. If I had the money, I'd be travel all over the country. But I don't have to. I can know right where to go. Everybody says, let's go find Bigfoot. I don't have to. I know where they're at.
Right.
And it's the truth. And I it's not like I want to prove to everybody, because I don't care what anybody thinks. I just don't. I don't want to bring a bunch of yahoos in there that are going to laugh and mock me. No, I don't care about that. I know what's going on there. And it's special to me. And to me, I feel honored and privileged that it happens, because I'm one of the lucky ones, I think. And that's just the way I see it. I'm for some reason it happens to me, and it's not going to stop.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to, it is, as long as they're not trying to hurt me and hurt mine, then I'm fine with it, man. Let them do what they do.
Yep. Just experience it, man, and feel lucky, because you're having an experience with something that not even 1% of the population will ever have. So you're lucky in that aspect. And I really hope you get the property. If you do, please, by all means, keep us in the loop. I would love to come up there. I know Michigan's kind of a trek, but you got some shit going on, brother, and that would be awesome.
Stacey, I got goosebumps when you said that, because that's what I was going to tell you next. I would love for you guys to come up and experience it with me, because it's not going to change. You guys being there isn't going to be. It's not like they're afraid of people and this and that. They're just there, man.
Yeah.
And I would love for you guys to come there and sit with me, and just like-minded people, open-minded people, and go, yep, there they are. There they are, because there they are.
Right.
I wonder what that was. And that couldn't have happened. That type of thing.
Well, hey,
because it's hard to find people that with open minds like that. It really is.
If it goes through and you get it, you got my number.
Yes, I do.
Feel free to hit me up, because we will come up there, and
we will have a blast, man. Sit around, play guitar, and just let. And that's another thing. They love music.
Hell
they love music, man.
Well, I know about 290s songs, so we can do it like a sing along around the campfire for sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm telling you, they love music, and they love that baby crying. I'm telling you, it's not like food or anything else brings them in, but you play a baby crying, or you start playing music, or you knock, or ask, they're going to come no matter what. They're there.
If you have to draw them in. For anybody that's seen that Bigfoot Bounty show I was on, during the finale, we used a baby crying to draw some in, and that was like 2014, because that was the one noise. Another thing you can try is there's this app, and everybody out there that may be researching to do Bigfoot, and y'all can look this app up. It's called Sonic.
I'm gonna write it down.
And it's basically a frequency generator. Right, you can play different sounds, like with hertz and stuff like that.
Okay.
And if you go out there and you play them frequencies that we can't hear, but the animals can, even on a dead night.
Infrasound?
It's not infrasound. It's just like a dog whistle kind of thing, right?
Yeah. Okay. I got you. Yep.
But we'll get out in the woods and we'll play that frequency app through the car speakers. Open the doors and play that.
Yep.
And even if it's been a quiet night, you don't think there's no animals around, you blast that frequency sound, and the forest comes alive.
Yep.
So it's something to try, brother. Well, sure. Buddy, I appreciate you calling in, man. Everybody has really enjoyed your story, from the looks in the comments and stuff like that. I know I have, and I'm serious about that. If you end up getting this property, dude, and I'd really appreciate the invite, man.
Listen, I'm going to tell you this right now. Even if I can't get the property, I'm going to drive up there and make a deal with, because you can't live on the property. You just can't.
Right.
I'm going to try to make a deal with the owners of it. See if I can come and pay them a certain amount and say, hey, we're just going to camp, man. We'll leave it. All we'll leave is our footprints behind it. Hey, who would say no? We're not, it's not like we could take anything off of it, and it's not going to hurt. I have to try something.
Right.
I can't let this property just go away. I can't.
Maybe you can get some kind of rights to it. I'm sure once they start having stuff going on, whoever
they're not going to laugh.
Yeah, whoever buys it, he can be like, "Yo, hey, can we come out here and check this out?"
Yep.
You never know, man.
Okay.
It doesn't hurt to talk to them, even if you don't get it.
No, exactly, because they're going to start experiencing it, and they're going to have questions because. So, but yes, for sure, Stacey, I'm going to keep in touch with you for sure. And listen, I appreciate you hearing me out, and everybody out there. Thanks for listening to me. It's nice to be able to get all this off my chest and just to share my experiences. They're not stories, they're experiences. And
right.
I'll keep you posted, buddy.
Well, hey, buddy, God bless you. And thank you so much.
Thank you, Stacey. You have a good night.
You too, buddy. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, everybody. That was a wild one. I really hope that he gets that property, because even though I'm not a fan of Michigan because it's cold as shit, I am a fan of Bigfoot, and I am a fan of getting into some Bigfoot stuff. So that in itself sounds amazing and fascinating. So best of luck to him. Okay, here we are on this celebration. I'm going to open the lines back up right now. They are on. We're giving away this Dogman hat to the third caller. So the third caller that calls right now, you will win this Dogman ball cap. If your head is not as big as mine, like seriously, my head is so large. I have such a problem. I can never get a hat. And that's why I don't wear hats. Like this beanie, it slides up. If it wasn't for the headphones, this damn thing would be coming off my head like a toupee in the wind. But yeah, third caller, 850-695-0522 on the Underground Live. You will receive a nice Dogman hat with a logo my buddy Richard came up with. All right, here we go. You're on the Underground Live, first time caller.
Oh, I want to be number 3, man.
Yeah, you're number 1. Sorry about that, buddy.
That's right, brother.
All right, bud. All right, congratulations. You're caller number 2.
All righty, thank you.
All right, here we go. And we got a winner here. Caller number 3, you are on the phone. Who is this?
It's Dean. I got it.
Dean, you got it. You got the Dogman hat.
Yeah, brother. I called right back, man.
Hey, and I mean the second you did, I hit yours and another call was coming in. I had to turn the phones back off. But yes, Dean, you're going to win this Dogman hat, brother. So
rock and roll.
Yeah, brother. If you will do me a favor and send me an email, BigfootStacy13 at gmail.com. Okay. I will. You have to give me your address, and I'll get this stuff shipped out probably Tuesday. Right. Okay.
Awesome. Yeah, when you warm up enough to go out. Right?
Yeah, dude. I'm telling you, man. I'm afraid to walk around out there. It's too damn cold, man.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, you're not used to it. It's Florida, man.
Yeah, right, bro.
Cold like that there.
I don't know how y'all manage to like go to the bathroom. Do y'all end up just like sitting down? Y'all just sit on the toilet when y'all have to pee? Because I can't. Yeah, how you gonna pull 3 inches of wiener out of 4 inches of clothes? That's my question.
All right, brother. I'll email you my address.
Right on, man. Bro. Appreciate it, buddy.
Brother.
Bye.
All right. Bye.
All right, Dean with the Dean winning the Dogman hat. It's funny. Dean hit me up the other day about a Dogman T-shirt. And by the way, all this stuff that I'm giving away tonight, we sell. So if you want, you can find it on our website, bigfootjtb.com, or just shoot me an email, bigfoot13@gmail.com. So I'm going to open the lines back up now, but this is for anyone who has any calls. If you want to, talk about Bigfoot, you got a question about Bigfoot, or you got a story you need to get off your chest, hit us up, 850-695-0522. the raffle, people, is still going on. We got a pile of tickets in the hat already. Every $5 super chat gets you a raffle ticket. You can win a backpack. Where'd it go? Here it is. It's black, hard to find. I don't have an email on the screen tonight. Oh, about to change that. Okay, this Rebo backpack, pretty nice. And by the way, Kentucky Dan, I know he was in here last time. He bought that backpack, and he bought the bucket, and he bought, I think that was it. But for the giveaway, he's also making the table that I will be using to do my interviews off. He's making a really cool table. Like, I cannot wait for you guys to see it. Okay, we have fixed it. My email is on the screen now. Let's see. Email, BigfootStacy13gmail.com. There it is. So, and pull these chats back up. But yeah, Bigfoot track, t-shirt, hat, DVD, and a backpack, collapsible bucket with a whisk. So when you're out in the woods, you can, if you see some tracks, pull it out, mix your plaster up, pour your cast right there, people. The number 850, what is it? 850, spin around, because I don't know the number yet. 695-0522. Anybody wants to talk Bigfoot, y'all go ahead and hit me up. Looking forward to hearing from some of y'all. I know y'all got some stories out there. I know somebody watching this has got a Bigfoot story that haven't told me yet. There was a guy who said he was going to call tonight, and I haven't heard from him. Don't know where he's at. Where was he at? What was his name? What was his name? I was looking forward to talking to him. Gee whiz, I don't see it now. Okay. Oh, it's not there. Whatever. Anyways, this upcoming weekend, getting out to officially start the Alabama Bigfoot Project. Super excited about all that. Okay, Cryptic Crystal with a ticket going into raffle. Thank you so much, Crystal. 2997. Find my pen. So what are we going to do about the Super Bowl, people? There's going to be a Super Bowl going on next Sunday during the middle of this broadcast. Is anybody watching the Super Bowl? Are y'all going to watch the halftime show with Green Day and Bad Bunny? Charles Mowick, I think that's how I say your name. Not sure. Get 2 tickets for the raffle, bud. But I'm definitely not watching the Super Bowl. My Dolphins are not in it. Why do I care? So I'll be here talking about Bigfoot. And because it's the Super Bowl, we're going to talk about some super things. Some super things that nobody likes to talk about, right? And it's that Patterson Gimlin film. Charles with 2. I'm gonna break down some of the reasons why I believe, but I'm bringing receipts. I know we talked about it before. I know I had a guy who was going back and forth with me about why it was real. I'm going to bring some receipts. I'm going to play some stuff, some videos, some things that are going to blow your mind. We're going to talk about the Patterson Gimlin film next Sunday on the Super Bowl because I'm not watching it. I don't care about the Seahawks. I don't care about the Rams. I don't care about the halftime show and their social justice that they're pushing. Like, brother, stop with that shit. We just want to watch football. We just want to get away from that mess. We want to get away from it. But we can never get away from it because you have to have it every single time we turn around. It's got to be something in our faces. All right. All right. It is all rigged anyway. I'm starting to believe that. I wish they would just rig it for the Miami Dolphins, you know? But it sounds like a lot of you would come out and still watch the show because I didn't know. I was like, should I even do it? I think everybody's going to be Super Bowl partying it away. But it sounds like every single person is like, hell no. Thank you much, Shane. Thank you for the congratulations on the 10K. Shane's over here with more subscribers. I appreciate it. I think Shane's at like 13K. Yeah. I got a ways to go, brother. But we on the way. We on the way. Okay, I'd like to address something. I told myself I wasn't going to get into the weeds, but while we're waiting on a caller, by the way, the lines are open. If you have a Bigfoot experience, give me a holler. The number 850-695-0522. So, Skitter, thank you much. Okay, the Dogman interview I just did. All right. That guy has... Oh, we got a caller. Let's see who we're talking to. This is the Bigfoot Underground. Who am I speaking with?
Skitter operator.
Skitter operator, what's up, brother?
Hey, I called you before, but I got some more stuff I don't think I told you.
Well, shit, let's hear it, brother. We're here to hear it. I know you said last time we talked that you wasn't going to be able to get into all of it at the time, and I told you to call back one day, so here we are.
Oh, man, I got to write it all down someday.
Ain't that the truth?
It's too old to remember it all.
Yeah.
Anyway, the best one I can think of is like 4 years ago, I was working on a logging crew. You know, I was unhooking trees under a yarder. You know what a yarder is?
Yep. Explain it, though, for the people.
Pulls trees up the mountain. Well,
yeah.
For some reason, this guy we were working for, before daylight, we weren't allowed to have any lights turned on any of the equipment until, you know, no lights, period, ever. And we were working in the dark. And this is extremely dangerous work to start with, you know. OSHA would have shut us down in a minute if they knew. But I was working on the landing with a headlamp, and there were two men down at the bottom of the strip with headlamps and setting chokers. One of them was a timber faller, and the other one was a full-time choker setter. Well, they said there was guys down there in the dark sneaking around behind the trees watching them. And the timber faller says, oh, that's just some other loggers from down the mountain snuck up here to watch us. Who the hell's going to sneak up the mountain in the dark with no lights to watch you, working in the dark?
Why do they want to watch you anyways?
Yeah, stupid. And the choker said, oh, hell no, that's Bigfoot.
Oh, somebody actually brought up Bigfoot.
Later, he quit. He said, to hell with that. He sent me pictures of this nest underneath this big cottonwood that was hollowed out.
Right.
And there was limbs piled up in front of the opening under this stump. It looked like a jail bars.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have that picture anymore. I can't keep pictures on a phone for nothing. Stinking Androids. Anyway, that's 4 years ago. I forgot. I don't think I told you that one.
No.
That was really weird. I never have got to ask that guy why he made us work in the dark.
Oh, probably just trying to get more labor out of you, to be honest.
Now, I kind of have a feeling they was getting stuff thrown at them when they were running in it with lights on in the morning. Because this was the freshly pioneered road in Idaho where, you know, nobody'd ever been in there in 100 years.
Right.
And I think the neighbors that lived around there didn't appreciate the noise and the lights.
Right. Well, probably not, man.
Well, I wouldn't if I was one of them guys.
Hell no.
I'd probably be throwing rocks.
Or ripping somebody's arms off.
Pull all the cable out of the yarder and take it down the mountain about 10 miles.
You know, always in my interviews with people, there's always somebody talking about there was a crew working in the woods logging, and they come back and all their stuff is messed up. Their cables are pulled out, hydraulic cables and things like that, and the windows are smashed in their loaders and all that stuff. And I wonder if that would be a smart way to catch a Bigfoot. Not necessarily catch, but like, you know what I mean? Like to get good, clear evidence, like to go out to a virgin area and do a little bit of timber trimming, and then just leave your tractors there and stuff. And because it's human stuff, it's all going to smell like humans. I don't know. You could have game cameras. You could have it rigged. You could have it rigged to where, you get their DNA off of the equipment and stuff like that. You could hide cameras and capture some pictures. It just always interested me as a way, to draw them in and to finally catch the evidence, because all that ground's torn up. I'm sure there's always tracks left around.
Well, I've been working in the woods since 1977, and I've never noticed any tracks. Really? I've never seen anything except, was it 6-7 years ago? I was logging on a job running skidder up by the Canadian border, and I was the last guy in the woods. Everybody else had already left, and I'm fueling up the machine, and I'm getting the heebie-jeebies, like something stalking me,
Right.
And it's coming from up at the top of the hill where the clear cut ends. There's something up there zoned in on me. I could see this tall black thing up there at the top of the strip, and I couldn't tell what it was. It looked like a busted off tree that was burnt.
Right.
But I could tell it was directional. What was coming at me was coming from that direction, and I got the heck out of there as quick as I could.
Mm.
And that's the weirdest thing that's ever happened on a logging job, except for the story I told you about when I was camping by the road and the screaming things came during the night.
Right.
Screaming like women on fire. That was the weirdest thing.
So you worked
anyway,
you worked in the logging industry. How many other people did you hear talk about Bigfoot?
They all laugh. Either they laugh at you or they say, "Yeah, I don't know if I believe in that."
Nobody really would share their experiences, though, outside of the one you heard. You just told me about.
The thing is, 8 or 10 years ago, I was in the same boat. I wouldn't talk to nobody about it either. I'd laughed at them too.
Right. I get that, man. It's hard when you're so passionate about something, it happened. But then somebody that just ends up, making fun of you because they just can't open their mind. It can't possibly be real.
Well, there's always going to be jerks.
Right.
Some of them are just doing it to be a jerk. Oh, you're an idiot. And I've laughed at people, I got a buddy, his dad grew up over on the Olympic Peninsula, and he's got an uncle that lives over there, and he's kind of a feral dude. He lives out in the woods.
Right.
And his dad and uncle, they both talk about Bigfoot. I've laughed at him, and he gets to talking about Bigfoot and aliens. I'm like, baloney, But in the last 10 years, everything's kind of flip-flopped for me. I've just too many pieces of the puzzle have come together.
Right.
There's no avoiding it. Stuff that's going on, and the older I get, the more stuff kind of clicks and makes sense. Like, whoa. Because earlier, I was thinking back that my earliest recollection of anything really strange was when I was like 14. I'd be spearing suckers, trash fish, and throwing them on the bank, and the next day I'd come along and they're all gone.
Right.
Something was carrying them off without eating them. And I really never thought nothing of it for, 40 years.
Right.
50 years. And
that's what I wonder. How many people are having stuff and they just don't, like when I was talking to the guy I interviewed yesterday, he said, hold on, I'm about to sneeze. Jeez. Sorry about that. Yeah, but he said yesterday, the first time he heard a Bigfoot scream, he said he didn't know what the hell it was, but he was catching the shit out of the fish. So he just went back to fishing. But he goes, I definitely heard it. And then when he told like the guy that owned the property there about it, the guy quit letting him come out. He called him wood monkeys or something. He goes, oh, you heard the wood monkeys? And then he wouldn't let him come back out. So I told him he probably wouldn't let him come back out because he was down there tearing them damn fish up. But
yeah, well, he might have figured he'd tell the game warden and they'd all come on down.
Right.
Well, anyway, something else just popped into my head like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, what's that?
When I was like 12, there's this great big old spring that ran into the river, and that was a big spring, like 100 foot across, big old spring. And we used to go over there and go fishing, me and my buddy. Well, there's this big old 2-story house from back in the 30s or 40s, all dilapidated and caving in, right there by that spring. And we went in there a couple times and looked around, and you know, kids they got to investigate.
Oh yeah.
And
tear some
in the
shit up.
Downstairs of that house, there was a big old nest in the corner of tree limbs and pine needles and stuff.
Really?
And it stunk to high heaven. And we were thinking, oh man, this haunted house stinks. There's bear living in here.
Right.
And we always get the heebie-jeebies around that place. You know, we figured it was haunted. Well, I think it was haunted, but it wasn't by no ghost.
Yeah, no doubt.
So that just come to me just recently. And man, I'm almost 70 years old, and that was when I was a little kid. And it just popped in my head like, man, that could have been one of their camp out spots right there.
Well, see, like I was talking to somebody and my mom was there and they were asking me about my Bigfoot encounter. Well, when's the first time you had a Bigfoot encounter? And my mom interrupted me and she goes, son, you seen one when you was a kid. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And she said, you don't remember that time at Jolly's? And my dad used to build boats, right? He would do like fiberglass work. So he put a new, they would buy these holes from like the FBI at their auctions for super cheap and then flip them. You know what I mean? They gel coat them, put everything and make a brand new nice boat. And my dad was there building like 2 or 3 boats. And Jolly had like 500 acres and he had this old 3-wheeler and I used to ride it out on the trails and stuff. Well, I had rode out to this creek. It's on the back side of the property. And now Jolly lived at the back of this road and up at the front of the road was like a black community, right? They had lived there for hundreds of years, right?
Down there in the Panhandle?
Yeah, yeah. And so I was out there at the creek and I turned and looked out of the woods and I seen something. I seen what I thought was a naked black man watching me. And so I jumped back on that damn 4-wheeler or 3-wheeler and rode back up the house and told them. And they went out there and looked. The reason my mom went to black man is because there was black people that lived up at even though it was a couple miles away, it was the road that it came in. Like, the road to get back to Jolly's house was long ass dirt road. And from where I was on the property, it had been a couple miles. And they didn't come back and mess around on Jolly's property. Nobody messed with anybody back then. You know what I mean? You kept to yourself. Yeah. But that's what I told them because that's the only thing I thought, right? And my mom said, son, you didn't see no black man out there on that property naked in them woods, because it freaked me out. That's what I thought had happened, you know, but I just seen it real quick. It moved. I jumped on the damn 3-wheeler and I was gone. Right. And so I think there's always instances that people have where they've encountered these creatures and just didn't know it because they had no frame of reference. Bigfoot wasn't on the mind, you know, and so there's thousands of reports that will just never go documented. They'll never be documented. They're lost to time because people just don't know what they're experiencing.
So they go to their grave and never put any pieces of the puzzle together.
Right. Well, brother,
they don't have the tools to do the puzzle.
Nope. And I'm starting to, I'm hoping somebody does at some point. You know what I mean? Because, like, damn, dude.
Well, man, the Bible says that everything that's hidden is going to get revealed, and I believe it.
I hope so, brother. I really do, because I put my faith in that. I hope at some point, either it's when I'm passed away or at some point we live and see it. But I hope all that stuff comes to fruition.
Just in the last 10, 20 years, things have changed, and the knowledge is snowballing, man.
Oh yeah, dude. It's just, it feels like there's a consciousness shift. Like it
definitely.
It's like we're on the cusp of something really big happening to humanity.
Oh, I bet my life on it.
And I just hope that's not bad.
Big things are coming. Oh, it's going to get worse before it gets better, I think. But I think it's going to be really good in the end.
I agree with you. Well, brother, I appreciate the call, man. And
betcha.
Yeah, man. Take care, and till we chat again, brother.
All right, later.
All right, buddy. Bye-bye. All right. Another great call from Skidder. Jay Rich for 4 more tickets. He really wants that track. How is everybody enjoying the show tonight? The 10,000 celebration. 10,000 subscriber celebration. I'm enjoying it. We are up in the production value around here. Like I said, getting another table. And I'm going to start doing some more of those like Zoom interviews, because I can't get all these people I want to get into the studio. But I'm friends with some people y'all'd like to speak with, some bigger, well-known, researchers out there. And I can get them on the show. I just have to set it up, and I think that's what we're going to do. I think I'm going to start setting up some more of those, but I think we're going to close in the cave to maybe I can make it like air conditioned and actually more of a studio. I never thought this show was going to take off the way it did, but as I was saying before Skidder called, the Dogman interview I did. Okay. I got to apologize to everybody because I didn't know this guy had recently done another interview. Right. And I try not to get people on that have recently been on a show, because I want my audience to hear new, fresh stuff every week. Right. Sure. The interview with me would be different than the interview done by the other guy, but I don't want them to be within 9 days of each other. So that one's my fault. I simply didn't ask him. I usually ask everybody. Outside of that, this guy went on Reddit and was saying that we deceptively, or maybe not deceptively, but I edited his interview. And to that, I have to say that I did edit his interview. And if anybody wants to hear it, I can play it. But I cut the first 12 minutes out of the show. And the reason that I cut the first 12 minutes out of the show is because he's just rambling to me about trauma with a C. Right? Like talking like nobody's had trauma. We've all had trauma. Some of us deal with it better than others. And, and it got to the point to where I said, hey, buddy, listen, nobody's going to want to hear this shit. They're here to hear a Dogman story. Let's talk about Dogman. And then he went into his story. So the first 12 minutes is him saying all this stuff. And then me telling him, hey, bro, we got to get to the story. So, yes, I did edit that. And outside of that, it was just the ums and things like that. But I never tried to paint anybody into a different light. I let you tell your story, no matter how crazy it is, right? And then the other thing that kind of got to me, like, okay, it's traumatic, right? It's hard to speak about. But you're on all these podcasts talking about it, bro. Is it hard to speak about or not? But anyways, somebody had hit me up and told me about that, and I just wanted to kind of let everybody know in case anybody had seen that, oh, he's editing interviews in a certain way. I'm not editing interviews for clicks. I usually try to make sure it's something y'all want to hear right before I bring it on. But anyways, enough of that. From now on, you will have fresh guests. And if I can't get a fresh guest, we'll do a deep dive. I'll spend 30 minutes, make like a mini documentary, kind of like the first episodes of this show were. Okay. I am going to go ahead and turn the lines back on. And we're going to give away to the 5th caller a Journey to Belief Bigfoot t-shirt. We have them in all sizes. You can't see it well because that damn flickering light, but there's a Bigfoot there in the background. Pretty cool shirt. So the number 850-695-0522, the 5th caller will win the Journey to Belief t-shirt. And we are coming up on 15 minutes. 15 minutes left. So we're going to do the drawing here soon at about 9:55 in 10 minutes. I will announce the winner of the raffle tonight. So anybody who wants to get them tickets in, get them in while you can. PayPal, Cash App, Super Chats. But once again, here we go. You're on the Bigfoot Underground.
Did I win?
You are caller number 1. Sorry.
All righty.
Bye-bye. Okay, caller number 1 down in the books. Who we going to have? Here we go. We got another call. Caller number 2. Congratulations. You're caller number 2.
Darn.
All right.
All right, cool.
Okay. I really need like an assistant or something here. This is a lot to do. Oh my God, you're on the Bigfoot Underground. You're caller number 3.
Oh,
man. Okay, 2 more calls. Here we go. Oh my God, wow, you are caller number 4. Sorry.
Well, number 3 ain't good.
You're number 4. Bye-bye. Okay, who do we got on the phone right now?
Hey, this is Pat. How you doing, man?
Hey, buddy, guess what? You are caller number 5. And you win the Journey to Belief t-shirt.
Cool, man.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, cool. I couldn't hear because of the background. But yep, you're going to win this spiffy little Bigfoot Journey to Belief t-shirt. What's your name, bud?
Pat Noble.
What is it?
Patrick Noble.
Patrick Noble. Patrick Noble wins the t-shirt. Awesome, buddy. Well, hey, Patrick, I need you to email me, bigfootstacy13@gmail.com. Give me your shirt size that you want. We have all shirt sizes. And make sure you give me your address, and I will ship that out to you this week.
All right, brother. I sure will, man. Good talking to you.
Yes, sir.
Hope to meet you one day.
Yeah, buddy. Thanks for calling, man.
Flat Rocks.
Hey,
All
maybe.
right, brother.
All right, dude. Later. Okay, dude. All right. So, does anybody have another story? Does anybody have another story? If you do, if you have a Bigfoot story, give me a call right now. I got a few minutes left. We got about 8 minutes left. I could possibly go over. It doesn't really matter because I'm the one running the show, right? I don't have to shut off at 10. I just have to play with my cats and get in the bed and shit, and my feet are freezing. And it is what it is. And I have a condition that they give me medical marijuana for. I don't know why. Did I say that out loud? No, I didn't. But anyways, Foul Owl. I am seeing in this damn chat that you have a story, good sir, but you are too shy. He has a Dogman story. Foul Owl, you have a Dogman story, bro? That's right, Amy. The warden runs a tight ship around here. But yeah, Foul Owl, you have a Dogman story, bro, and you're not sharing. It's time to call. Maybe not tonight, but Foul Owl, if you would like to be on the show, I would love to interview you, man. You're in the chats, dude. Everybody here wants to hear your story. I take it some people here have. Is that right? Is there somebody in the chats? Y'all have heard Mr. Owl, Mrs. Owl, the Foul Owl? Y'all have heard the Foul Owl story before? And I haven't. What are we doing? Why haven't I? I want to hear it. Shit, bro. Call me and tell me. Noble got the luck, bro. That's the first thing Noble's won from me. So I don't know if he wins everything else. That's the first thing he's won from this show. This is a Bigfoot show, Bobby. This is a Bigfoot show. However, I like stories. I do like stories as wild as they get. So sometimes we're going to have some paranormal. Sometimes we may have some UFO. Sometimes we may have some Dogman. And that's okay. I've got a guy coming on who is on a TLC show. I was on this show, this TLC show, Welcome to Plathville. It'll be airing sometime this summer. And anyways, the father there, Barry, very nice guy. I took him and his daughters to the film site. We kind of went squatching. It was pouring down rain. We were soaked at the end of the day. But he's really interested in the Bigfoot. And I want to bring him on the podcast. And I want to talk about the show and how it's changed his life. And then we're just going to discuss Bigfoot for a little while. He hasn't had an encounter, but he's plenty inquisitive, you know. And I think it would be a good conversation. I've also spoken with a guy here. I got to get back up with him, but he agreed to come on. He was on Naked and Afraid. So I'm looking forward to that. It's also not a Bigfoot thing, but it's still kind of along the lines, I think, is stuff you people would like. Because I just want to have interesting conversations. Sure, it'd be great if they were about Bigfoot, but you know, if they're not all about Bigfoot, that's fine too. You know, we could talk about whatever, as long as it's good, as long as it's flowing, and as long as it's going, bro. We'll chat about it. So I do got one of my friends I'm going to get. He was on Monster Quest with me, Josh Watson. He's got a killer story. That track, he had an encounter, and I cast this track the next day. Okay. So I'm going to get him in the studio. He's the guy that was like the Bigfoot on the first couple episodes. All right, Walden. Walden, I'm not sure if you know about the raffle, but you just bought 4 tickets to it, buddy. Let me get you 4 tickets here. Get in at last. You got 2 minutes, people. 2 minutes before the main giveaway. I was almost on Naked and Afraid. So when I came off of Bigfoot Bounty, a producer on Bigfoot Bounty worked on Naked and Afraid. And so I was talking about being on the show. And they were paying $3,500, right, for 21 days. Okay. I ain't doing that shit for $3,500. I'm sorry. I make $3,500 in the same amount of time sitting at my house. Walden, here's your 4 tickets, buddy, in the hat. So I hit him with 10K, thinking we could come down around 5, settle somewhere around in there. No, they held firm. They're like, we're paying for everything. I'm like, bro, you're dropping me off in the middle of the fucking jungle somewhere butt ass naked with no food. You ain't paying for shit but a flight, right? So no, thank you. And that is why I did not do Naked and Afraid. But I don't know. It wouldn't really be being afraid, you know. Let me see here. Okay, I just missed a call as I was filling out. One second. I'll text this guy back because we'll leave it on one. Okay. Sorry, I got to go back and forth. Turn them on, and we don't want to see that. Don't lie, Windwalker. You know you want to see that, bro. The rest of everybody don't want to see that. But yeah, like, what if you're not afraid? So then you're just naked in the woods, right? I'm not afraid, bro. I'm just naked. The bugs are eating my butt up. It is what it is. But hey, people, it is that time. It is that time for the drawing. We are shutting it down. No more draws coming in. We're about to crown a winner. Okay. We gave away a DVD tonight. We gave away the hat. We gave away a shirt. And once again, we're about to give away this snazzy little backpack from Rebo Tactical. It's a nice backpack. It comes with a collapsible bucket. So you can pour your mix, your plaster. Got a little whisk that goes with it. You will also receive a Bigfoot track, in case you didn't know already. And then you'll win a Bigfoot Journey to Belief hat, a Dogman t-shirt, and a Journey to Belief DVD. So let's get to it here, people. As y'all can see, let's see here. What did we just get? You can see all the drawings in there, all the tickets, and my snazzy little top hat. I wear this top hat usually when I do paranormal stuff. But anyways, drum roll, please, everybody. Brrr, shaking them up, shaking them up. There's no rabbit in here. Closing my eyes. And I am picking, who is it? Can y'all read that? You can't read it. You can't read it because the camera's too far away. How about now? Focus, 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 focus on it. Focus on it. Focus on it. Where's it at? Is it coming into focus? It's coming into focus there. Okay. And what it says on it is J. Rich. J. Rich, you are the winner of the grand prize tonight. There you go. J. Rich. It probably appears backwards, but my terrible handwriting. J. Rich, you are the winner of the backpack, the track, Dogman t-shirt, the Bigfoot hat, and the Journey to Belief DVD, buddy. So please, are you still here, J. Rich? I bet he turned off. He's not here. He won and he's not here. So he's not going to know he won. Jay Rich, how can we get a hold of Jay Rich, everybody, to tell him that he's won? Because he's got to send me his address. Uh-oh, is he still here? There he is. Hell yeah, Jay Rich. Okay, so Jay Rich, there's a couple of tracks. Send me an email, bigfootstacy13@gmail.com, and you get to pick which one. This is just the one I didn't have up in the attic at the moment, so I threw it over here. If you don't want this one, I got another track from Grays Harbor, Washington, that you could possibly get if that's what you wanted. But congrats, Jay Rich, and congrats, everyone. Seriously, for making this podcast bigger than it probably should be. We have we have kept just about 100 people in the chat viewing this all night long, and that is amazing to me. I can't believe people want to spend their little bit of time that they have with me. To the guy that called with a hunting story, let's talk next week. Let's talk next week during the Super Bowl, because that's what's going to be going on. We're going to be on the Super Bowl. I don't expect a lot of calls that week. And so we're going to be talking about the Patterson-Gimlin film. You know, I'll take calls and we can discuss it, because I'm sure it's going to piss a lot of people off. But that's cool. That's exactly the conversation we need to have, because I'm going to sit here and debate every single person that calls me and wants to debate the authenticity. But make sure you bring some receipts, because my ass is going to be locked and loaded, fools. I ain't slipping on this. I'm firm on my stance, and I know why I believe that it's fake. But maybe you can give me something that will change my mind. And, you know, until then, I will be a non-believer. But seriously, everybody, thank you so much. I got more content on the way. I really appreciate everybody coming around, hitting that subscribe button, liking it, sharing it, hyping the videos. Y'all have made my channel explode, because this really didn't start till November 14th. And here we are, not even 90 days later, and we're over 10,000 subs. So, everybody, but yes, thank y'all all so much. And until next week, stay safe and stay